4.2, rewrite irrational function to identify asymptotes. Looking at my function here, notice I don't have a constant in the numerator. In order to go ahead and graph this and find my horizontal asymptotes and my vertical asymptotes, I really need to get this in a different form to where I don't have a variable in the numerator. So we can easily do that by using long division. Remember that fraction bar is division. So I have x minus 3 goes into 4x. And so now remember, we always focus on the first terms. Well, my dividend here is only one term to begin with. So let's just ignore that -3 on the divisor. I've got 4x divided by x. Well, that's 4. So I'll put the 4 up top. Now I need to multiply. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times -3 is -12. Don't forget to distribute this negative when you subtract. This is going to become a positive 12. And now recall that you can write this. I'm going to write it right underneath here. We're going to write this as the quotient plus my remainder is 12 all over the divisor of x minus 3. Now, also recall your transformations. So we were given f of x equals a over x minus h plus k. Well, this is similar. The only difference is these two terms are switched. So what I have here, this is my k. My k value is also my horizontal asymptote. HA is y equals 4. Now in my denominator, h equals 3. That also makes my vertical asymptote x equals 3. This 12, this is a vertical stretch by 12, and we're not going to worry about it right now. Also keep in mind too, again, we did this using transformations, but again, if you set your denominator equal to 0 and solve, you'll see that if x equals 3, your denominator will equal 0. We can't have 0 in the denominator because that makes the function undefined. That produces your vertical asymptote. So let's take a look at the graph. We'll just sketch this in real quick. So here I go. We have got a horizontal asymptote at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I should have dashed that. We'll dash it here. That's my horizontal asymptote. I have a vertical asymptote at x equals 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's put our graph in. So I know that my graph is going to hug along these asymptotes. I also can see that this is positive. My A value is positive, so I don't have a reflection. So that means I'm going to be lower left and upper right. So I'm just going to sketch it in. We don't have to go crazy with table of values. We're just doing rough graphs. So it's going to come down here and it's going to hug that vertical asymptote. And then up here, it is also going to hug that asymptote. Upper right. There we go. Let's do another. This is a try it that's in your book, 1A. F of x equals 6x all over 2x plus 1. Okay, so right off the bat, I notice I've got a variable in the numerator. I need to do division to get it out of there. So I'm going to take 6x and I'm going to divide that by 2x plus 1. Okay, ignore that plus 1 for now. Just overlook it. 6x divided by 2x. Well, that gets me a 3. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 1 is a positive 3. And then we're going to subtract. So this is going to give me a remainder of negative 3. So I can rewrite this as the quotient, which is 3, plus the remainder. Well, my remainder is negative, so I'm going to write this as a minus 3 all over my divisor, 2x plus 1. Well, I can see here my k value is going to be 3. So that means I have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 3. And now my vertical asymptote, and I can't just see this by a horizontal shift. It's not there for me nice and easy because I've got that 2 in front of the x. So what we're going to need to do to find the vertical asymptote is we're just going to take the denominator, set it equal to 0, and solve. If I subtract 1 from both sides, I get 2x equals negative 1. And then we'll divide out that 2. I get x equals negative 1. So here's my vertical asymptote and my horizontal asymptote. Now, when I graph this, I'm also going to have to be careful because my a value, I've got a minus here. I've got a negative. So that means this time we are going to have a reflection across the x-axis. So let me grab a graph. And let's put our asymptotes in. So I have an asymptote, my x, I forgot to write the 1/2. Should be a negative 1/2. So at negative 1/2, here's my asymptote. I have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 3. 1, 2, 3. And now graphing this. Because I have that negative out front, but before we were always lower left, upper right, where now we're going to be upper left, lower right. And there it is.